What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. This is quite a late video, so apologies on the late upload, but yeah, we had our FOMC with interest rate announcements, and what a beautiful, wow, interesting to say the least, piece of price action. As you can see, price traded down on the back of FOMC right into the low, which I called out yesterday. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video yet, do go and check it out and then come back and watch this, just because it'll give you more context as to what my understanding was today was, and you know, so you don't know that I was just, so you don't think I was just chatting BS, because this is the kind of price action I'm talking about. Now, when we delivered to here was what I wasn't accurate with. Obviously, you know, there's only so much we can predict, but I wanted to see us. My expectation was that we'd roll down into that low during the London session, but that wasn't the case. Price was held, and then they waited until non-farm FOMC to do this. Now, this is very typical in price action, to be honest, where if there's a big news event at a certain time, and you know there's a clear low that's going to get taken, they'll hold price in what we call time dilation, and then they'll wait until that time, and then they'll do it, because we're taking out two sides of the market. We're taking out sell stops below here, all that liquidity grabbing it, and then we're pulling back and running out buy stops. So you know this, that, and suggestively they'll be buying as soon as it hits this low. This is what they're going to be buying from, because the idea is that retail's money is still below here for those that were going long. But anyway, and if we look at the actual price action itself, we do have, you know, some classic formation in terms of having a low, a high, and then a lower low, and then expansion to the upside. And you can see how we came down into the break of the last up close candle for the down move. Well, technically that's here or here, but nonetheless it still applies. And I'll just draw some of this out for us. Price comes down into it, look at that, closes it, and then we have an expansion to the upside. So what am I expecting tomorrow? Well, as far as I'm concerned, price should be hunting for buy stops now. So we need to look for the significant swing highs on the daily and the 4 hour that we want to see price trade to. So we go to the daily, and then we can look at all the highs that we have that coming up, and then the first high is going to be here. So we'll get that delineated as a draw on liquidity. And then when we go down to the 4 hour, we can see some more significant swing highs. And the one that stands out to us is definitely this one, but I'll put the line above here because these are relatively equal. And that is also a fair value gap above here as well. So there's reason for why we'd want to see price trade up into here. And then also you can see we have a bullish order block here that we traded into. And you can see our price that between here and here, well, actually I'm not going to count that for now. But there's going to be some price action, guys, on the lower time frames in this range. Let me see if I can mark it out. It's the tiniest gap, guys. It's the tiniest gap, but this is a volume imbalance. There should be price action on the lower time frames in here. If not, cool. But the important thing is that we've recognized it on the 4 hour. So as we drop down to the 1 hour, you can see that we've already gapped. Now I am a bit cautious of this, but we have to create some kind of low. So it'd be nice to see if price can pull back into this range, and you'll see that's also kind of the top of the breaker, which is up here. It's just on the high time frame. So make that black. And then let's go down one more time frame to the 15 minute, and then voila, we have a bullish order block. So basically I'm expecting price to come down below these lows, tap into this, and then I want to see it trade out. If it keeps trading, then this high would be the lowest I'd want it to go, and then if it goes through there, then I'd be a little bit suspicious, as in I probably wouldn't want to get involved. But I'm happy for price to drop into this, and then I'd be looking at these highs. But I'm not in a rush to get up into above these daily highs for now. But yeah, it'd be nice to see the low get created and then trade on higher. We will go to the 5 minute. Why? Just why not? And again, the price action is a bit messy here, but this should hold price. All this price action here, especially this range, price shouldn't need to go below this orange level, to be honest. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want to see it go below there. If it does, so be it. But I think it's going to accumulate stops below here to reaccumulate, and then there's going to be longs going out up into here. So that's going to be everything on dollar. I hope that all makes sense. Basically, I'm calling out 97 for now, 97.149, sorry. I don't want to call numbers, and then I'd like to see the low get created here. But if price trades through that, I don't want to get involved. It's simple as I just won't get involved. And then we have to be cautious as well of this gap. So this opening, this closing price, sorry, and I'll make it red because why not? And then this opening here, you can see we're inside. So what's going to happen is price, you see how we've already treated it here. Price is going to wick around in here, and it will use that as a barometer. Once we get below the 50% level off it, which is right here, once we get below there, then I'm confident that price will be able to get down to here. If price doesn't get below this 50% level, then we're going to go straight up to there. But if price gets below it, then I want to see it come down to here first. But it needs to get through that 50% level. If that 50% level stays respected, then a London session, then price doesn't need to go, it won't go any lower. It will just keep running higher if this stays respected, and you'll see what I mean. But if it doesn't, then it will use it as resistance, and it will start pushing into these lows, and it will start to try and get into this, I believe, which is fine because I'm expecting it to hold price because it's quite a high time frame. PDA rate is 4 hours, so we'll have to see. But that's just food for thought. So we're gonna go on to GBP USD, and again, if you watched yesterday's video, you'll remember me talking about this fair value gap. If you haven't watched it, guys, please, I can't stress it, just go and watch it. It won't take long. Just go and watch it. It's like a 4-minute video, guys, and you'll see I was calling this level because I was saying I want to see price get up there. Now I was expecting again London sessions trade into it, but what happened? We had news, didn't we? So they put us in a time dilation, which is when they just consolidate price, and then they wait for the news to hit, fail the fair value gap, and they leave it very aggressively too. And now we're heading into sell stops. Now, if you remember earlier this week, I was talking about, look at how high resistance and how much of a struggle pound has been getting up, and it still is getting up here, right? And I was saying we should trade pound on the downside because of, you can see the high resistance, and that will be reflected in euro GBP. So if we go to euro GBP and we go, say, to the daily, and look at the past 3 or few days, you can see that GBP is in a premium right now. So if we look at the trading range that we're currently in, you see that GBP's been, Euro's been pretty strong, meaning that GBP's been weak. So in the trading range, we're in the discount. So yeah, so Euro's in the premium, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Look. Trading range. Anyway, Euro's in the premium, so that means generally speaking, GBP is weak, right? And we can see that in the trading ranges here, because we're there. So because we're, because GBP is weak, when we're ready to sell, and I'll go back down to the 1 hour for now. When we're ready to sell, we should have an easier move down. Now, I don't think GBP's done all that it can yet. Why? Because GBP still has interest rate announcements at 7 AM tomorrow. So I think they're waiting for this, and they're going to absolutely sink it. Assuming, remember what I was saying, assuming dollar remains bullish, that's what they're going to sink pound heavily. But that's assuming dollar doesn't get below that level I was talking about. Anyway, if that's the case, then I'd be looking at the midnight opening price, which is right here. And we'll move this daily divider right here. And now I'll start looking at sell stops. And really it's daily highs. We've already taken out this daily high. The next day, daily lows. So really and truly, are we targeting this daily low? To be honest. Which is pretty much the Sunday opening price anyway. Now, if we take a close look at the actual price action, similarly, we don't, where did that candle go to? Let's get rid of, oh my gosh, I just realized that's the wick, right? Yeah, we have similar price action. We got a high, we got a low, we got a higher high, and then we got a lower low, as if we've broken price right here. So this last down close candle I don't want to see price trade any higher than this. We can mark up the whole candle. Price can do whatever it wants in this. Okay, it can have a party. It can invite its friends. That's fine. But I want to see it respected. And what will help me with that is by splitting it up into quarters. 25% level will be ideal. 50% level at the most. Above 50%, I'll watch price, but I won't, be too confident. And it's just the way that price treats these levels that are gonna help, help us decipher a level of expectation. Let's make this one dash. I'm just thinking how to delineate them. So if we go to the 15-minute, you can see our price already protected that there. It could the 25% level. It might respect the 50% level. I don't know, but I'm happy for price to stay in here. And so long as it's in there, I'm happy to look for shorts. If it goes above there, I don't want to be involved. And at that point, I believe dollar will be deep, and I don't want to be playing around. Then it's like we know, at the end of the day, the market can go both ways, and I'm arguing both. But I'm saying what I likely think is going to happen and what I'd like to see happen. And remember, interest rates at 7, so I wouldn't be surprised they held price, consolidated it, pushed it maybe it's this bearish order block or something, and then sent it lower, assuming that dollar's doing everything it needs to. So that's what I'm feeling about pound. So finally, we're going to finish up on Euro USD, and you'll see same thing. Look at this. What level is this, guys? If you haven't watched yesterday's video, then you're not privy. But if you have, then you'll know about the buy side liquidity pool, which I called out. And you'll see that we hit that again. Time, I wasn't expecting it to happen on the back of the news, but it did. We failed to do it here. We traded lower. We traded we traded much lower as we opened the day, and then on the back of the news, that's when it took it, and it's continued lower. And look at how fast. It's just a wick. The 1 minute, it was like, took it, and it's already running lower because it's in a rush. I believe it's in a rush, and it's fell quite nicely, and we have the same again. Technically, we can look at the price action. Technically, high, low, higher, high. Last down close candle, same thing. Last down close candle. Any higher than this, I don't want to be involved. But if we can respect that, or if we don't even touch it at all, even better. And price will just what happens? Price will just roll over into the lower next day, which is completely fine. Now, it's times like this that you want to start looking for. You want to start looking for failure swings. You want to start looking for divergence. Now, everyone behaves here in terms of we took out the high from yesterday. So there's nothing juicy there. But where it gets juicy is going to be where this price action is. So, for example, in terms of the same lows, these lows, GBP's already taken out those lows, the same lows. Whereas, dollar hasn't taken out the same highs. And you just have to take a look at little things like this to see what the underlying strength is, essentially. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm expecting. These are just my rules. If price manages to stay below here or trades into it, I'd be happy to look for setups if it's at the right time of day. My time of day, 3 AM is when my setup is generally formed, so that's when I'll be looking to trade into here, and I don't want to see price trade on lower. But if we trade through it and it's 3 AM and stuff, I don't want to be involved. It's as simple as that. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong, but there's no rules. So that's going to be everything, guys. I hope you found this insightful. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list. All the links are in the description. Let me just look at this. Yeah, all the links are in the description. And join the Discord as well. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.